Yes, everyone. How is everyone doing today? I hope everyone had a good Friday. Welcome to the match preview for Wolves versus Chelsea. Jem isn't going to be able to be here today. It's just myself. I am in new surroundings today. I'm in the motherland and the homeland of where I am. So I'm back at home with my family for this weekend. So I'm just trying to get in a bit of a match preview. Obviously, the big thing is tomorrow we've got a watch along as well, which is going to be the first for Kings of the Bridge TV for I think a very long time. So it's going to be the first one we're going to do. We'll see how it goes. Look, more than happy for you guys to come along. It'll be good fun. It'll be good fun. But look, hope all of you are well. Pels, good to see you. I hope you're well. Rogue, good to see you as well. Yellow Flash, I hope you're well. Look, we've got a big game tomorrow. Every game seems to be huge at the moment, especially after us coming off that loss against Arsenal. How do we bounce back from it? We're going to be running through, obviously, Liam Rossini's press conference as well today, and obviously his comments, and we'll go through team lineups. We're going to go through form. We're going to go through potentials of what could happen for this game week and see where we could potentially finish off in this weekend of fixtures. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But it's been quite quiet in terms of the news, in terms of Twitter news at the moment. Obviously, there's been I don't know if the player of the month has come out at all. I've not seen it, but it seems that Enzo is obviously shortlisted for it, which I think is completely deserved. I don't think out of all of them, I think it's the best one to go with, to be fair. So I think that's the best. Yeah, I think that's totally fair for him to be the best to go with for that one. Dreamer, hope you're well. Yeah, Jem's off for today, so I think he is. I think he's obviously having a bit of a break, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, Enzo, isn't it? Yeah. So we're just trying to figure out really who is going to be obviously the player of the month. And let's be honest, through the plethora of potentials who are there, I don't really see how Enzo isn't going to be the winner. Has there been a Pies bomber, Nonny? Or are you trolling me right now? What has Pies been saying at the moment? Is there anything which has come out? So news has been very quiet. So, okay, so this has just come out, guys. So I'm just going to share my screen right now for you. It's quite interesting, this. Obviously, I know there was rumblings of Liam Rossini asking for a Barco. Bayern Munich also follow the players with interest. I mean, look, I don't mind this transfer at all. You know, obviously, he was monitored at Brighton. We were even monitoring prior to him even going to Brighton, to be fair. So the fact that, you know, Liam has had previous experience with him as well, that could possibly be a really nice reunion. So yeah, overall, I mean, I think that's an okay part to where Strasbourg model comes in. I don't know what you guys think. Let's see in the chat what you guys think. What do you guys think in terms of the Barco news there? I think that's quite interesting. To see. Again, I don't think Strasbourg fans are going to be very happy with that. But what is he left? Is he on the left or right, Barco? So you're saying, Carl, I've got to say, Barco's truly amazing. He's just a different gravy. Well, that's good. Is he left? Is he on the left-hand side, I assume, then? Is he left back? Or have I got that completely wrong? He's on the left, yeah. So look, I mean, is that going to say the calling for Cucurella potentially? You know, it wouldn't surprise me at this board and how they do. Oh, is he a midfielder, Nonny? God, I'm so bad at this. Let me have a look. I'm going to have a look at this. So, Strasbourg. I need to really keep an eye on Strasbourg a lot more. So he's a defender. Okay. So he's left back. Interesting. I mean, look, this is where I don't mind the kind of Strasbourg link, coming in, but it just depends, obviously, with what's going on with the situation with Cucurella, because it seems like we've just kind of improved somewhat payment terms slightly, and that's it. There's no kind of contract extension. So is this then kind of pre-planning into the future transfers of he's getting on a bit now, and we're trying to kind of see if it's going to be either Hato or Barco to kind of battle it out for the left-hand side? I mean, again, I think Kukurea is just kind of mentally very fatigued. I think it's the same for a lot of players. Oh, is he not a left back now? So now he plays in left, but so he plays in midfield now, does he? Okay, well look, with the whole thing with Gittins at the moment, he looks like he's going to be up for a very long time. I think that, I think that's something we've got to consider for this position because look, I don't think Gittins has been outstanding this season, to be fair, but I know obviously we're bringing Quenda in. So, Rogue, this is quite a big statement for you to say. So he sent Hato on loan to Strasbourg. Interesting. I'm not sure. I think Hato deserves a bit more of a chance. I think the games he's kind of just been pushed into, I think, are very difficult. But all I will say is when he did play against Arsenal, I did feel he's very one-footed. Very much he's just his left foot and that's it. He won't do anything on his right foot. So, yeah, unfortunately, we can't play. I'll have a look at that, Cal, more for my own sake. But unfortunately for YouTube, we can't play compilations. Unfortunately, it's not playback. The playback days are now over, so we are no longer allowed to do that. Unfortunately. Big up, Mike. Hope you're well, mate. I hope you had a good Friday so far. So, Dreamer, what are you saying here? So, reports are saying Kukurea. Oh, sorry. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I've got dogs barking, so apologies, my guys. So reports are saying Kukurea and Traore were involved in a video call. What, I think almost like a pre-fight press conference, hey? Half of our team need to go on loan to Strasbourg. I think half our team need to get out the club, to be fair, let alone going to Strasbourg now. He asked and didn't get it. Sign a yes man. He asked and didn't get a sign of a yes man. Yeah. I mean, look, at the same time, right? We asked for certain signings, but let's be honest. I mean, between you guys and Jeremy Jacquet and Sarr, I'm glad we recalled Sarr. To be fair, let's big up Pies. I hope you're all doing well, mate. I hope you had a good week. My thoughts are with you, obviously, mate. So, look, I'm always here if you want to have a chat. But I'm always there for you, mate. So, just try and if you can, just get your mind off of things. After the whole games, we haven't got games for 8 days before Burnley at home. Yeah, so really kind of going on to that then, we've got, I believe there's, big games coming up really. So we've got Wolves tomorrow, which is, I mean, all these games really are must-wins, let's be honest. And they should be must-wins considering on paper. We should be beating them, right? We should be beating Wolves. We should be beating Leeds. We should be beating Hull. That should be a nice three win there. So we should be, right. But we're going to see what happens. But then we then got 8 days. We can have a bit of a break, and then we go to got Burnley at home. So really, these fixtures at the moment are very much in our favour. And if I obviously share the fixtures we've got coming up, you can see this is the time we've got to strike the iron whilst it's hot, really, in terms of trying to get that momentum back. We've kind of gone on a good run at the moment. If you look in the Prem, we are unbeaten in 3. We've won all 3 games. And I think really we should be winning 5 in a row in the Prem, which, I don't think any of us really thought under Liam that would be the case. Yes, I know the performances have been ugly. I think barring the Palace game, which I thought actually we played quite well in, I felt that we've got to win tomorrow. We're on at 3:00. I don't know when some of the other teams are on, but you obviously got United and Tottenham are on at 12. So they might win, so they might put more pressure. But it's crazy to even think us talking like this when it's against bottom of the league. But you've seen crazier things happen, right? In terms of it. So Pies, look, if you want to come up, you're more than welcome to, but I respect you probably just needing your own space today. So look, guys, if you need space, just let them have space. Dreamer, it's not reports that they were actually in a video call. I've seen it. So Mike, what was is that actually true, or are you pulling my leg here? I would like to know. Jem can play left wing. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a big thing, which has obviously happened with Gittins. I mean, I think there's that funny meme which came out. It's, you know, the whole Mason Mount with Man United. They've obviously got the deal and he can never be available. And we've got it the other side that we've got Garnacho and he's always bloody available and we don't want him to be. I'd prefer if he was injured. It's just painful, really painful. And for me, it has to be that on the left, Pedro. I know it's crazy things, but Pedro has to start. So Pedro has to start. So another Pies bomber. Pies come out with something else now. Here we go. It's all happening whilst we are live. Let's have a look. Don't think there's anything more. I think it's non-season. I think it's just purely that we're going for Barco. Yeah, I can't see anything else unless I've missed it. Unless anyone can just say, oh, no Pies in the chat. Sorry, guys. Add me up, see if I can join. Yeah, Pies, message me on. I can't message you because you don't actually follow me, so I can't message you with the StreamYard link. So if you're able to, drop me a follow, and I'll send you through the StreamYard link, and then we can quickly run through a few bits. And whilst that's happening, I've just got to be 2 seconds. This is not very professional. Apologies, guys. I'm at my family's house today, so it's all a bit all over the place. Yeah, so Pies, come and obviously drop me a follow, and then I can message you the link because unfortunately I can't actually message you the StreamYard link unless you're on, unless you follow me. So yes, yeah, I've seen it now just on Twitter. There was something on there. So we'll also got either PSG or Newcastle. The March. Right, there's a question, guys, in the chat. Who would you prefer out of those two? Who would you prefer out of those two in coming up? It's really difficult. It's all dependent on, I believe, where we play first. I mean, I think it's crazy, but I think I'd want PSG. I just don't want Newcastle. There's nothing about Newcastle which I really am wanting to ever be entertaining at all. So I think for me it has to be PSG that I would want to play. What would you guys think? Who would you want to go for? So PSG. Yeah, we're all the same. Isn't that funny? The actual current holders of the Champions League, and we all want to go. We all want to play against them because I actually think Newcastle will do a number on us, especially obviously at their stadium too. So yeah, I'll just obviously look, wait for that famous follow from Pies. Unless he follows, I can't invite him up on stage, guys. So so Mike, sorry, you're saying look at my above message. Just tagged you in it, Matt, but it's in Spanish. But Cuckoo said to try, I'm calm because there's a screen between us. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, fair enough. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the video as well for Fofana G'ing himself up to sprint over. Fair play to Joao Pedro as well, because that was it's a scary man to go up against. So there is the pig man himself. How is he? I hope he is having a good day off because he needs it. So Newcastle, you sell home game. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why everyone's saying, oh, I've got the follow, guys. Pies is coming up on stage. I repeat, Pies is coming up. So I'm just going to send him the link now, and he will be coming up. He'll be coming up very shortly, guys. So, yep, everyone, if you can, subscribe. Look, we're going to be doing a giveaway soon. So we're going to be doing it for subscribers or followers. We're just trying to figure it out. So please subscribe because we're going to give away something soon, whether it's a home shirt or any sort of merch, something like that within Chelsea. So please come along and follow or subscribe, whether it's myself, CFC _ Matt 17, or if it's Gem as well. So yes, I don't know what's going on here. Gem is saying subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. Jem, I hope you are well, my man. I hope you're well. So Toby's saying, so we could play Newcastle 3 times in a week if we beat them in UCL. Yeah, I mean, it's just not as terrible, isn't it? We don't want to. I don't really want to be playing them that many times. It's stressful enough playing them once. But yeah, I don't like the idea of playing them away at all in the Champions League at all. Jem, if it was your choice, mate, so Toby's are saying now that in the next round we'll play either PSG or Newcastle. Who would you prefer to play out of them two? It'll be interesting for you to have your opinion on that. Because I know for a fact it would be PSG for me. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, once Pies comes up on stage, we'll do a bit of a kind of match preview. And here he is himself, big man himself. Pies, how are you, mate? You all right?
Can you guys hear me? Hello.
I can hear you, but can everyone else hear Pies?
How is everyone doing? What's up?
Not bad, not bad.
I'm on a new PC, so I'm just testing this out. Make sure everyone can hear me well.
Yeah, it sounds all right. It's got. I mean, I need to get a mic, to be fair, because my studio display it's terrible. I've got my MacBook, it's fine, but as soon as I go on my studio display, it sounds like I'm in a tunnel. So I need to get a new mic. So
yeah, I just bought one of them iMac things. So
nice.
Yeah,
nice. So yeah, we're obviously just at the moment, obviously talking about the next round. It would be either PSG or Newcastle will play. And I know for a fact, if it was me, I wouldn't want to be playing Newcastle at all. So really, at a process of elimination, it has to be PSG, really. Which I think, in fairness, I think we wouldn't actually do too bad. But that's under Maresca, obviously. So might be a bit different under Liam.
Oh, I've missed this chat, bro. Look at this chat, man.
It's all love. It's all love. Trust me.
Wow, I need to do more things, man. I miss playback and that, with this chat.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot more used to this now, and actually, once you've just got to the hang of it, it really works. And we've transferred a lot of the community over, and I know for a fact on Chelsea Central's channel with yourself and Con, it's good. And you just get into a rhythm as well. It's great.
So many familiar names.
Yeah, Nonny seasoned. Obviously, I'm sure you know him.
I can't get away from that guy.
I had to ban someone called Nkunku, whatever his name is, because he just and then people were wanting him back, and then it was just because I was losing train of thought. Yeah, we all miss you, Pies. We miss yourself and Con being on the spaces. Especially on play.
Some spaces, man. I need to get back into things. Do some sort of content.
Yeah, well, look, there's always a space here for you. You know that, and yeah, Mike, good try, mate. You're trying to be like Nkunku, but it's not going to work today. It's not going to work. I won't ban you though, Mike, because I love you. But I mean, it'll be interesting to understand. Obviously, we're going to go into the match preview a bit, guys, but wanted to know what your kind of overall thoughts were about the Arsenal performance and whether you think it was a bit of an exaggeration for fans to say we should have just gone all out attack because we were a goal down, or do you think that the actual strategy was correct from the aim? It just was that more of that execution at the end and maybe not bringing the substitutes on quick enough. What did you kind of feel the overall game was for you when you were watching? I mean, because it was a terrible watch, and I don't think that was really for us. I think it was just more how Arsenal kind of played. But yeah, it'd be interesting to know your thoughts before we go on to the actual match preview.
Well, I went to the match, so I was in the away end, and it was like, I think two different perspectives. Like, I think the fans there didn't really mind the game plan as much because they felt like it made sense. You don't go too man for man, you don't go too crazy, you keep staying the tie. There's only one goal. You grab a late goal on, with Esteval, Palmer, you bring the attack on, you start something different. Arteta wouldn't have been expecting that, kind of shape. So you stay in the tie and then you nick a goal sort of like 60, 65 minutes. And then I think, anything could happen. And I think, honestly, I think some of our other games where it's just been like, people say like, oh, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Like, I don't think that applies to any other game apart from this one, because I think he's been quite naive with his full-on attacking approach in some of the other games. Whereas this one, I do feel like he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't, because if we end up like taking that to extra time and win on penalties, which was a very big possibility considering how well we were doing defensively, then we literally are like Rosenior's being called a genius. Like, oh, Arsenal didn't expect that. This was perfect, you know. But because we didn't, you know, which is the nature of the game, he's been called a fool. He's been called clueless. You know, like I understand. I'm not saying I wouldn't have gone like more attacking. I think it's somewhere between the two. Like I think we were a bit too defensive in the first half, and we definitely needed more shots off. But I don't think it was like a, you know, I don't think the reaction warranted all this. Like, you know, because we did try and attack. We just Arsenal like being there live in person. As much as I hate them, seeing the way they defend in front of you, like they deny you any space. They deny you any central progression, which is a big part of what Rosenior wants to do, is play through the middle. We should have stretched him out wide more, but we bring Estevao on. Okay, he's just come back from Brazil, personal issues. Garnacho is shit, can't take him out on. You know, like literally, he just got the ball, passed the ball back. So
yeah, I mean, so my mum's not like an old Chelsea fan, and so she doesn't. She was more like the Mourinho days, stuff like that, and she's not really was into it now, and she doesn't know much about football. And immediately she went, that player on the left with the stupid hair, all he's doing is passing the ball back. And I thought, if my mum, who hasn't watched football for years, doesn't know much about football, can see in a space of 3 sequences what he does, it makes you think, what have our board seen in him to have got that signing through? It's and it's more worrying now with the whole Gitten situation that I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of him, to be honest. But I couldn't agree more about what you were explaining about the whole, he was damned if you did, damned if you didn't. Because we were saying yesterday that, or the day before, if he went 1-0 up, it would have been an absolute masterclass. It would have been an absolute masterclass. He's completely outdone Arteta, and you know there's a real potential of a manager there. I think you're right in the approach that we were a bit too defensive. But I just felt we almost felt like we could snatch a goal, and we were close. It's just we just couldn't take our chances with Delap snatching. Just again, you know, I think Enzo has been doing brilliantly, but sometimes decision making with shots, could he get a bit more on target? Maybe, but I think we're clutching at straws because there wasn't many opportunities. But I think when we did try in the second half, I just felt that we might have done it a little bit too late. And naturally what was happening, it was got to the 60th minute and then really time was against us, and Arsenal knew that. And then they just started doing what they always do and just fall on the floor and just completely disrupting. And naturally at the end, look, if we went kind of just all out attacking, it was just annoying that Havertz scored. But I just think it's difficult for us to admit, but they're just a very good defensive team. They're ugly to watch. They're very scrappy, but they just have done this all season and just scraped a 1-0 win and they just go on to the next, and now they're in the final. So I don't think it's too much for us to kind of really take away from it. Yes, I think it was a bit of a disappointment at the end, but then actually on reflection, if you looked at it and you looked at then what happened at Newcastle with Man City, then you can really see, look, that's what could have happened to Chelsea. And I think a lot more fans would then really would have said, look how naive you are, that you're completely going all out attack when we were a goal down, and then we would have lost, I don't know, 5-2 or 6-2 or something.
Yeah.
But then really it's now on to tomorrow, really, Pies. I mean, I always fear playing bottom of the league. And I don't know why, because every other team who would go against them, they'd be excited. But for some reason with Chelsea, I just always hear that Charity FC coming in, and I'm like, don't you try it with me today, Chelsea. Don't you do this to me. So I don't know what your thoughts are on it. I mean, it's just difficult, but it's pretty obvious. It's just a must win, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a must win. I think the next 3 games are a must win in terms of the league ones. Obviously, you've got Hull City as well in the cup, which is a must win. They're actually 3rd in the championship, which is quite something.
They've been doing well this year in the championship.
Yeah, it's not like, I mean, we struggled against Lincoln, we struggled against Cardiff, who are much worse. So that will be an interesting one. Albeit we had Maresca, of course, and you know now we've changed manager. But yeah, Wolves, I think it is a bit of a like weird game because they've got really nothing to lose. Like they're not going to stay up; they can just kind of go for it. Although saying that, they probably still play a back 5. But yeah, I mean it's a must win. I think Palmer and Estevao being ready to play 90 minutes again. You'd expect both to start with our lack of wing options. So yeah, I mean. Yeah. Neto may be back, but I think we should win this one comfortably.
Yeah, well, before we just segue on to the team, I just want to get a few questions answered, which I think people are asking you. So, just with regards to obviously the Barco news you kind of posted, what are your thoughts on that? With Rossini obviously being quite a big fan of him, what are your thoughts with the whole kind of Barco potentially coming? I assume would that be in this? Would it be in the summer? Would it be? It'd just be interesting to understand what you feel is maybe in Liam's mind. Is it something that, which has always been my fear, that it could be time that maybe Cucurella might be moving on because of the contract situation? He's not had an extension; it's just more improved terms. It's getting to that point now with Cucurella where you either have to basically sell your soul to the club for whatever fee, or you go. So, what do you think this whole Barco situation is at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's probably like I think we will end up signing at least a couple of players that become really good for Strasbourg, and he's one of them because I think you don't want to. I guess we're still in control with selling them elsewhere, considering we basically do all their transfers. So it's kind of down to us, but I think we will end up seeing a couple of players that Rosini has worked with. Obviously, calling back Sarr now being one of them already. He's so adaptable. Like I think in midfield, left back, but in midfield he's been really, really good for someone like so short as well. He wins a lot of duels. You can just add him to the list of Wharton, Anderson. Who else maybe we look at? Maybe Baleba with the Brighton connections. I think we will sign a midfielder, or maybe even two. I mean, it just depends on Lavia and Asugo because them two just don't seem to exist. So, yeah, there's definitely
It's
room.
wild with the Asugo thing to me because I knew obviously I understood he was injured, but then it's like now like he must have had a pretty hard slip for now being out for even longer now, and it's like it's again just a really sad indictment of just our luck as well with the whole Lavia situation, potentially then having to try and go into the market again in January for a midfielder. We had this whole situation last January of trying to recall Santos. But it's always the same players which are injured, and I think they're going to, regardless, I think they're going to have to really focus on that midfield now again, which is crazy considering how much money we've spent. But I just don't think we can trust Lavia to stay fit for more than I even think 3 games coming off the bench for 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, Asugo, like we know about Lavia, but Asugo is the one that's really annoyed me this season. The fact that he was nearly back, then had a setback. What was then he nearly back again, and now he's had another setback for a month. Like it's apparently not even here until March. So, and we got an international break in March. So, like, when are we going to see this guy? Like, I was very excited because of the profile of him and Caicedo. You'd think he is. Everyone was saying he's, the baby Caicedo. Well, he's the baby Lavia. You know what I mean? Like, because he can't fucking stay fit. So.
Yeah, I think when he did play, I think it was he had a game. I don't know if it's either pre-season or it was in the Club World Cup. He just seemed to slot in immediately, and it looked like a really nice transitional fit. And we've said it a lot on this channel, Pies, that we're very worried that if one of Enzo or Caicedo gets injured, I think that's season over for us, really, I believe. And we looked at their minutes, and Enzo's obviously at the top. I think it was with 1,800 minutes this season, and Caicedo was not far off. So, yeah, it's crazy to think. But look, anyways, back to obviously tomorrow's game, and we were then talking about the lineups. What do you believe is kind of your lineup to go with for tomorrow?
Oh, it's difficult, isn't it? I think, we've had a bit of rest since the Arsenal game. So I think it'll be what we're doing back 4 first, and then
So I assume Sanchez will be in goal unless Slonina makes a debut.
Yeah, probably be Cucurella. Centre backs would be interesting. I mean, we've got some.
This happens every time, Pies. We do this lineup because we just don't know who's going to play in centre back. Whether Fofana's going to
predicted. My team will predict it. What we're saying. Because
some people are saying Sarr, which is interesting. Do you think it's a bit too early for Sarr to come in? Could it be a potential? I mean, out of probably the fixtures, you'd think it'd be a good game for him to start in, right? Or would you reckon against Hull?
Are we going to do our team or predicted team?
I would do what you It's difficult because I know what you're saying. Are we going to do what Liam's going to pick? Or are we going to do what we would want? Let's do what you would want first, and then we'll change it to see what Liam would actually do.
Okay, I will do Fofana and Sarr. So I'd have Sarr on the right, which will be no. Would it be left and then in the middle of a back three?
Oh, I'm doing wrong formation then. Hang on.
Well, I'm thinking on the ball. So.
Oh, okay, fair. Let's just do it. We'll do it like this, and then we'll do on the ball. So you're putting Sarr on the right, yeah, or you're putting probably Fofana. I'll put Wes there and put Sarr then.
Then obviously reset right back.
Yeah, that was my only little thing with the Arsenal game. I believe you play your best players. Unless there was a late fitness test, it's just difficult to understand. Midfield now. So I assume now that you've got Reece and right back, it's going to be Enzo and Caicedo then?
Yes. Yeah. I think Enzo deeper in this game as well might be quite good because we're going to need to get that ball forward. We'll have a lot of possession. So, yeah.
Then who's your three just behind the striker?
Well, we haven't got much options, but I'm going to go Neto on the left if he's fit.
Yeah.
We'll do Palmer in the middle and then Esteval on the right. And Mark Guiu up front. No, I'm joking.
To be fair, I don't know what your thoughts are on Delap at the moment, but it's not a bad argument, to be honest. I mean, but I felt for him playing on the right hand side. What an alien position for him. He was never going to do anything there.
And obviously, João Pedro up front. So yeah, we go with that.
Oh, God, I can spell properly. João Pedro up front. Right, that's a similar team to probably what I would pick, but it's just then it's very different to see what Liam's going to pick. What do you guys in the chat think with Pies' team?
That team should be winning 4-1.
Yeah. We're always going to concede, unfortunately, I think, in Liam's system. But so Neto was in training today, Rogue was saying. King Dementa Price, sorry. Friday brain, sorry. Chalobah and Achimpong, is that maybe an option? Maybe. Where would you play Achimpong? Would you play Achimpong on the right, or would you play them as centre-back pairing? What was your thoughts on that one? I can't lie, I'm quite excited about Sarr. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't see too much about Xhaka, so it was very difficult for me to try and say, I really want to play when I don't know much about them. But what were your thoughts on kind of recalling Sarr? Do you think that was the most sensible option out of the two? If you had a choice, which one would it have been, Pies? If it was to recall Sarr or bring in Xhaka?
I think, we'll see in the future, but I think we needed someone now. So I think the more sensible thing to do was to bring Sarr back if you couldn't get Xhaka for this window, which obviously they couldn't. So I think him knowing the system really well, will help. Having already worked with Rosenior, similar to Santos, and you've seen that Rosenior's used Santos quite a bit. So I would imagine that he wouldn't use Sarr as often as we're thinking. He wanted someone in the middle. Sarr is a middle central centre-back on the ball. That's where he played under him. So, yeah, hopefully he'll solve a few of the passing issues that we have.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Badiashile being left-sided centre-back again. I just can't. I don't see any attributes of his to even quantify even being on our bench or even the reserves at the moment. It's just every time it gets to transfer window, he just gets himself injured, so we can never offload him. So yeah, a lot of people are saying potentially Santos in as well. I was maybe thinking because it's against Wolves, do we bring Santos? So now, I mean, look, I would say my team's quite similar to that. But I'm just wondering what you'd think now if you were Liam, what you think Liam would do.
I don't know. That's too difficult.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I think if it was Liam, I think it would be Chalobah would definitely be in here. But I just don't know whether we might see Sarr tomorrow. I don't know whether it's just completely too soon. Because, I mean, did he come back a few days ago or something? So it just might be a bit too soon. But But I'm just wondering if we're trying to maybe rest James as well. Maybe if we do have a Josh action plans.
It's a difficult one because we have Leeds at home on Tuesday, which is actually like eerily similar to the West Ham sort of fixture. You know, like
it's a big banana skin, really, if you think of the history behind it. I mean, let's be honest, they completely taught us a lesson, which I think that was the end for Maresca once that game happened, really. I think the performance really was not good there. And I believe that will rest James for that game, to be honest.
Maybe.
So that's why I'm thinking, would we put Achimpong in?
I think he could also do like, maybe his strongest team for like 60 minutes, and then make a load of subs, like just get 2-0 up or something, then make subs.
Yeah, I mean, that's always my mindset. You play your strongest team first, but it always seems that we always seem to play our worst team first, and then we have to react in the second half because we're 0-0 down, and then we bring them all on with like 20 minutes to go. So,
that is annoying.
Yeah, so it's what people are saying here. So I don't know why, but I can see Steve on the left and Palmer on the right. This game and Enzo in the 10. So I assume, Carl, you'd have Ben Santos.
It's not a bad shout. He's played Esteval on the left a few times now, so yeah, it's not bad.
So if we and if we put these there, and then it's probably the wrong side actually, so I'll just change it over. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad shout. That could work. And maybe Gusto plays. I'm not sure. I don't mind that. I think that could easily work. Hopefully, I just want to see a little bit more from Palmer. I know. I mean, it's just so obvious that he's just, I think, still just massively recovering and he's trying to hold it together. But I would like to see a little maverickness come out of him, and hopefully we get it tomorrow. But that's not a bad shout. I don't mind that at all. So Rogue, you're saying I think it's Caicedo, Santos, Enzo. Yep. So that's the same, obviously, as what Cal's saying. Starting sorry, but Achimpong, regardless for this reason, will not be fair. Well, unfortunately, for whatever reasons, they always wax lyrical about Achimpong, but he's the only player I think who ever keeps getting praise, but then never actually gets minutes. I think this is purely on the basis to try and show Achimpong that we love him as a player, so it kind of takes his mind away from being at Bayern Munich. But I wouldn't be surprised in the summer if a bid comes in for him for sure. I think there's a really like a Rolls Royce of a player there, but it's just I don't know why we're not seeming to play him. Pies, what do you think about that? What do you think the reason is why we're just not playing Achimpong?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. He's got Fofana, who obviously is an experienced senior option, but now with Sarr coming back, I think it's going to make things more difficult for him. But again, he should be playing more, like even off the bench. I think Rosinia's used him more as a right back, which is interesting because obviously that's where he was in the academy, but he looks so much like a centre back in the Premier League. So he doesn't really look like a right back in the Premier League. So
well, it's even how he carries the ball. It looks like a centre back carrying the ball. And I find him, and it's weird because his natural position is right back, but I find him more comfortable, like you said, in the Premier League as a centre back. I think he just gets slightly exposed when he's on the right sometimes. But yeah, I mean, I would like to have played him more, but that's why I'm saying hopefully in this game we can. Toby saying he has to play over Gusto at least. Yeah. Gusto's got. It's weird because Gusto's had really good periods this season, and then he's just gone slightly off the boil again. I mean, I was not happy when he did that dive. Like he could have easily just took his man on, but he just ran out of pace and fell over. But yeah, I mean, look, I think overall, regardless, whatever team I believe we put out, we should be beating Wolves. They are a really poor team. And like you said, hopefully they're not going to play every man behind the ball because what they got to lose now, they've got to really start getting some points on the board. So hopefully that'll play in our favour. But absolutely, guys. Yeah, look, we've got to run up the likes. How many of you in the building at the moment? We've got nearly 50 of you here. And how many likes have we got? Let's see. You can't actually see how many likes we got. We've got 21. Come on, guys. There's 20 odd of you in here. It massively helps the channel. It builds the community. which is fantastic. We're fastly growing on Discord as well. It's great. We get people constantly just posting Twitter news on there, so you don't constantly have to kind of understand where you're at with things. So it's a really good platform to be on Discord. Sometimes at halftime we do voice channels, but if not, Jem and Connor are always on Spaces at halftime as well. And we're doing our first watch along tomorrow. Well, I am. So we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully there's going to be no meltdowns. But we'll hopefully be able to have a good win. So what are we saying here? So look, so drunk versus Arsenal. Yeah, Gusto, F me, how much did he drink? Well, look, not sure. What was the atmosphere like in the away end? It looked pretty good from what I could hear. Watching it off TV, it seems like we were kind of okay with the result in the end. There wasn't anyone who was kind of angry about it or any animosity towards the team. It's kind of just more of an acceptance that we gave it a go, but kind of just couldn't really kill the game, really.
Yeah, there was just a lot of going at the Arsenal fans really, rather than the team. It was just
but it's fair, right? I mean, look, we've got, especially the European trophies and stuff. It's a great way to kind of deflect it, because to be honest, how they celebrated at the end was just embarrassing. You're running onto the pitch when you're going into a Carabao Cup final playing how you did as well. I thought it was disgraceful, to be honest. So we just, I think, as everyone is now, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to do a Poznan pretty much the whole season now and be a Man City fan as well. And I never thought I'd say that until the bitter end. And I'm sure we all are going to be a Man City fan in the final as well. So the next thing I want to do, Pies, is something which we do, which is quite fun actually, is we do a bit of a predictor of the table. We do a predictor. It's a really good platform. Toby found it for us. We do predict each score for each game, and then it will calculate where we're going to finish off in the table for that game week. So I would like you and the chat as well to help go through these fixtures and figure out what they're going to be. So, of course, Pies, if you don't want to answer the score and you just can't be asked, we can always ask the chat, but it'll be interesting to see. And it's just an interesting way to see where we could potentially finish this game week. So chat as well. What do we think Leeds versus Nottingham Forest is going to be? I mean, that's on tonight. So if you've not done your 4 score, do your 4 score. I'm going to be honest, I've completely forgotten 4 score now. I was second and I just I kept forgetting. No, it's just, I think I've got further down. I think Jem's pretty much won it now. So you guys are saying 1-1, 2-0 Forest. Cal saying... Pies, have you got any thoughts on that score at all?
Yeah, I'll go with a 2-1 to Leeds. I think they're quite strong at home recently. I think they might, Friday night atmosphere, I think they might nick it.
I have to go with the guest co-host today, guys. Sorry. So you can't say no to Pies when he comes up on stage. So we gone 2-1. This is a big game for us. This really matters. So, Matt, your only hope, yeah. This is a huge game for us, really, and it's just annoying. So I just don't trust Tottenham to do anything. And it's weird at the moment how Man United are just turning a leaf, and their players are really starting to kind of perform and come together. Like Sesko's starting to score. I mean, Mbeumo, who I really thought was a great signing for them. Don't think it was ever going to really work at Chelsea, but I think wherever he was going to go, he was going to do well. And I just find United now are just annoyingly just picking up wins when we need to pick up wins and kind of stay with them. So, and it doesn't help that they're at 12 o'clock. So what do you guys feel in the chat as well? So Toby, you're saying 3-1. Flash is saying 2-2. Rogue is saying 2-2. Pies, what do you think? I mean, I can only see us being one way, and it's United winning.
Yeah, it's a really weird one, this, because obviously I do think United will win, but Tottenham are United's bogey team. So there could be something here. Like, I think Tottenham have got a lot of good results at Old Trafford recently. So
okay.
There's that in the back of my head, but Thomas Frank, I'm going to go 3-1 United, but I'm hoping they can get a draw, out of
3-1. I mean, what we can do afterwards is we can always calculate, because this scores, and probably Liverpool is the only one which really kind of will impact us. So Bournemouth Villa, I think this is a really big game, because really, we need to start dragging Villa. I think Man City and Arsenal, that's for the title. We need to start dragging Villa into this top four battle, in my opinion. And if we can just kind of capitalize on our fixtures, I think this is where we can close that gap. But it's a huge game because Bournemouth, they're starting to pick up again. Obviously, I know they're in 12th, but I think they've had some quite impressive performances. I think I was listening to like Alex Crook and stuff like that in Talk Sports saying about how well they've actually done in this transfer window as well. Keeping Senesi, I think that was quite big for them, considering he had X amount of months left on his contract. Obviously, Semenyo leaving, that was going to be a big hole to fill. And they've obviously then brought some players in. And hopefully, for our sake, I would want Bournemouth to win. But don't know what you guys in the chat think as well. So, Toby, you're going 3-2 Villa. Obviously, there's no Watkins, Cal's saying. There's a lot of goals again in the game. Yeah. Saying Creepy's going to shit all over Villa. So, Bournemouth 2-1. After there's the most performing team. After us is they're the most informed team in the league for wins. What, Bournemouth or Aston Villa? I need to probably check that. The last 5 games, fair. So people saying Bournemouth 2-1. Interesting. So again, Pies, I'm going to kind of ask you as well. What do you think? It's going to be, I think, a high scoring game. I think.
Yeah,
in terms of a few goals.
Yeah, I've got a 2-2 in this one. But I'm hoping Bournemouth can nick it. I think, Villa, we need to hope they start going on a little losing run. I was shocked they lost at home to Brentford last week. So,
that was some unbelievable goals as well. Was it Brentford that they? Yeah, I think it was. There was a couple of goals I thought were very good. It might be in the weekend before actually. Yeah. So, okay, are we going to go? Let's go. Let's just entertain it and do a 2-1 at Aston Villa, and then we'll put it back to 2-2. So Arsenal Sunderland. This is annoying because Sunderland, I think, are a very strong team this season. Clearly, I think, especially at home. But I'm just wondering, if I think this is just going to be a dirty 1-0 win again for Arsenal. I just can't see them. But then saying that, did they lose? No, they've not played at Sunderland yet. Was that a draw? I think they drew with them actually. But I can't see anything else other than a dirty 1-0 win. I don't know what you guys think in the chat as well. So Cal's saying 2-0. Dream is saying 1-1. Toby, I did see this. What a crazy downfall of a career. You had pretty much a lot of clubs at your disposal to go for, and you went for money. Then you went to Fenerbahce, and now he's on loan to Zenit. I mean, I think that clearly shows his attitude problems to me there. I think that's another Balotelli in my opinion. But I did see that, Toby. So 3-1, 2-2, 2-2. Okay, a lot of people saying draws. Are we just entertaining it because it's Arsenal? I'm just going to go with my stand. I'm going to say a horrible 1-0 win. Don't know if you think that as well, Pies. They're just such a horrible team to watch. But I think they're just going to win every time.
Yeah, it's another difficult one. I've got 2-1 to Arsenal in that one.
Okay.
Win.
We'll try and go through these a bit more quicker. Burnley, West Ham, horrendous game. Probably see wet. I mean, it's a relegation game. Burnley must win it, but I just think they've just not invested very well. They've not backed the manager again. I think they're doing what they always do. They go up, get a cash injection, go down with a cash injection, and that's it. They should be banned from coming to the Prem, in my opinion. Fulham, Everton. This is another really actually good game. Both kind of are on form. Well, actually, no, Fulham's on form at the moment. I know they lost to United, but barring that, they've actually played quite well. I'm going to go for what we got. Where are Everton in the league, actually? Let's have a look. So Everton are 10th. I'm just going to do a draw. We'll do a draw just to entertain it. Then obviously now the big game. This is the big game now. Really is now Chelsea. Well, Wolves, Chelsea. You said 4-1 earlier, Pies. Is that what you're still going with?
Is that what I said? 4-1?
Yeah. You said from your team we should be winning 4-1.
Yeah, I probably will downgrade that. I'll go 3. I'll go 3-0 Chelsea.
Okay, so we're all saying a win. So let's say 3-1 because I think that's fair. 3-1 win. Newcastle Brentford. It's another good game. Newcastle are just not. They're not playing very well in the Premier League. They're just very inconsistent. So what are we going to say for Newcastle Brentford, guys, in the chat? CFC Watu, yes, Pies is alive. He is alive.
I'm here, guys. I'm alive. I'm alive.
So right, let's quickly we'll go through these. I'm going to say I think Newcastle will win after me saying that they've got bad form. Brighton Palace, to be honest, Palace are just dog at the moment. I will put that's 2-1. Liverpool Man City. Wow, that's going to be a very good game. It's the final game, and I just think City have to win. So I believe City are going to win this game. So I think they have to at all costs. So I'll put that as a City win.
I don't think
it's calculate and then see where we are. So after that, we are still in 5th. But what it starts to do is it starts to create a little bit of a comfortable breathing room between us and Liverpool and Brentford, etc. So that's positive. But then now, this is where we could be a bit more entertaining with it. Let's say it was a draw tomorrow between United and Tottenham. We then go 1 point ahead and we're in 4th.
Can I throw something on that? I don't think City are going to beat Liverpool.
Okay. So what do we think that score is going to be?
I think Liverpool are going to win. Yeah.
And do you think that's it then for the Prem?
I think it already is, to be honest. But I don't see them winning at Anfield.
They're very weird City this season because I think they relied so much on Haaland at one point in the season. Foden seems to not really be picked as much now either. Reinders seems to be picked over him. So yeah, it's just annoying because really the league this season especially with Arsenal, it's kind of just it's theirs to lose because I think the rest of us have just been so poor and inconsistent. That they're in that position just purely out of inconsistency, really, of the rest of the opposition. But that's it, really. I mean, I think so. Liverpool, then it's also tight. We're all a point between us, and if I could be even more entertaining with maybe also obviously Villa, Bournemouth being a win, we're just starting to even, if that's the case, bring Man City into it. So. Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys, for kind of that game week 2025. Our predictions are so that's what it would potentially look like. But I think let's just change that back to Man United to win. When you see it like this, it's incredibly tight. And that's why it's so frustrating that now it's almost every game is a must win. Every game means we have to put our strongest team out. And we only have ourselves to blame for that because of how inconsistent our squad is and what our inconsistencies are. Is the first 11 are very strong, and then we're very mid when it comes to our depth. So yeah, very interesting with that one. So right, I think what we're going to do here, guys, I think we're going to just finish off here, just under an hour. I'm going to obviously be live tomorrow. And yeah, look, if you want to ask Pies any questions as well before we go, please do. I'm sure hopefully Pies will be all right to answer them. So how's uni going for you? Is it going all right at the moment?
Yeah, well, I've literally just got back today. So, yeah, my course starts again from tomorrow. So, yeah, I've had 2 months off.
So nice. Is that Christmas period off or?
Yeah, waiting for the next semester. So, yeah, 2 months.
Nice. Perfect. Well, look, I think we'll finish off there, guys. Like I said, we've got a match countdown tomorrow. Jem.
Is Jem drunk? What's going on with this guy, man?
I think he said to me, I think he's got like his cousins or around or something like that. He said he's got this obviously some I think his cousins messaging on his behalf. So but yeah, piss and chips or pies and chips. That's what I want to know.
This guy, man. Honestly.
What's your thoughts on Cole Palmer? Will he stay or will he be sold if big money offer comes in for him?
No, it'd have to be. Whoa, like they'd have to break the world record of. Yeah, I don't think it's worth really a crazy discussion about it, to be honest.
No, I think when you were seeing it being broadcast, I thought what a nonsensical kind of point in like for the journalists to be bringing out stuff like that, where it's just kind of just dangling like the loosest, smallest carrot for people to latch on, because it's a big headline of him going back home and we were in bad form at that point. It was just such an easy story to come out with. I mean, look, naturally, as you probably know a lot better than I would in terms of what you're studying, there probably is some truth to it in terms of him being homesick. But I think a lot of in modern day football now, you're traveling, a lot, going home, and it's not what it used to be where you'd just be there the whole time. There's probably so many friends, family who are around there. It's just it's normal, and he's young as well. What do you expect? Yeah, you're probably right, Rogue. It's probably got to be something over 200 plus. But I just don't think anyone really in the world has that sort of money. You're looking at like what Madrid are doing with their business. It's very much trying to drag a deal down for a player and to run their contracts down, and then they put them on large wages. I don't really think. I think what barring Bellingham, that they've done ridiculously large signings since. So I don't see the likes of that happening for a long time. So how about recent Enzo and Caicedo's contract situation? Are they signing new deals in the summer? Yeah, Pies, is that again something in my mind? I believe that it's completely deserved for their performances. But has there been anything on that at all that you can explain at all, or?
No, I mean, Chelsea want to wait till the summer to start sort of conversations. I think Reece one is pretty urgent because he'll have 2 years left, and obviously they have that policy of renewal be sold. So Reece one will be pretty urgent, I'd imagine. Enzo and Caicedo less so because they've got like so many years left anyway. But it will be interesting to see like how urgent the agents want a pay increase and what the pay increase does go to, because that is the only thing I will say is what sometimes leads to sales. If like Enzo says like, oh well, I want 260k a week, and Chelsea go no, like if it's that like if it's that firm of like I need this pay increase, then that's the only situation you could see a big player be sold. Because you see that loads in football, where players feel like they're undervalued, they feel like they're giving everything to the club, and then the club aren't giving that back to them. And then they were like, well, I don't feel valued. I'm going to go and explore my options. That's the only scenario where a big player could leave.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think the inevitability of Enzo going to, Madrid, it will happen eventually. It's the same with Esteval as well. It's going to happen at some point. And I know Esteval's on a large contract, but it will. But I think whilst we can, we've got to keep them on these contracts and keep them incentivized to stay at the club. Because let's be honest, the likes of Reece, Enzo and Caicedo, well, yeah, I would say and Caicedo as well, they've given a tremendous amount to this club already, and their talent is worth keeping them at the club. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, obviously, in the summer, it seems. Obviously, the Anderson thing, obviously, I know Ben Jacobs, when we had him on here a few weeks back, was really hammering that we are really going to be going for a midfielder, and I know you alluded to that earlier. If it was your choice out of your likes of the Whartons, Andersons, etc., who would you like to go for? And secondly, do you feel there's any legs in this, or do you feel that we'll just be having to compete with larger competitions with the likes of City, etc.?
Yeah, we definitely will have to compete. It'll be interesting to see who which club kind of goes for who's their number one targets. That'll be more sort of revealed towards the summer. But I've always said I personally would go for Anderson, because I think we lack physicality in our team quite a bit, especially in midfield. I think to have someone next to Caicedo, how ridiculous, like defensively, would that pivot be? I mean, that would be insane. The duels and just that would be a big part of becoming like extra good defensively. A lot better, a lot more solid. But I've always said, the club, my prediction is they'll sign Wharton because they wanted him when he was at Blackburn already. Palace Palace are in the shit. You know, he's probably not going to go for like 90, 100 mil like Anderson will be. You know, like I can see them doing that rather than doing an Anderson. But I think Anderson will be the better fit for what we need, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I can probably agree, because let's be honest, out of the two, it's weird. I'm not saying that they're at the level, but it's very similar to the Caicedo Declan Rice saga. That I think if one team really goes hard in for Anderson, then you kind of then have to go for the latter. I mean, again, obviously the quality of Declan Rice and Caicedo is completely different to them, but I believe there's a bit more of a push for teams wanting Anderson than less on Wharton. That's only from my opinion. It seems that maybe that Wharton's got a bit more of an injury element to him as well, but I think you could probably strike a bit more of a cheaper deal with Palace, because like you said, they're in the mud at the moment with, you know, the whole thing with that Mateta deal as well, and them knowing that he had a knee injury and then tried to get him to go to AC. Well, he wanted to obviously go to AC Milan, and then he's now had an injury for almost 7 weeks and he's not going to have an operation. I mean, that's pretty poor from Palace to do that, but look, at the end of the day, if you want to get a player out, you've got to try and keep things quiet. You've got to do anything you can. What we're saying here, so obviously, yeah, we spoke obviously about Barco, which is obviously really interesting. Just feel United will go after Anderson and give him 100% starting next to Mainu. I mean, it's very coincidental all of a sudden Mainu's becoming a very good player again. Thank God we didn't go for that manager, because, I mean, look what happens. It's crazy, really. I mean, he had so much hype at Sporting, but wow. Completely different being at Chelsea. But look, guys, we've gone over an hour now, and I'm sure Pies has got things to do in his evenings as well. But stay tuned for tomorrow. I've just got to figure out a time and what time we're thinking of doing the watch along, because I know Jem and Con and maybe Pies are going to do a space pre-match, obviously doing the lineup reveals, things like that. So they might be doing that first, and then they're going to get you guys to come over and watch the watch along. And then we'll be doing a match reaction just after the game. And then, we'll go from there. But thanks very much, guys. And we'll speak to you tomorrow. Have a good one.